The 25th international between these two great sides gets underway, and first touch of the ball goes to the Terry Duvergy as the All Blacks pile in just out from the 22 in French territory. The French, though, have it under control. Bibizier back to Serge Blanco, and with a bit of a breeze behind him, Blanco getting good length early on, and the first line out will be 5 metres in French territory.
Well, the French forwards going to that ruck certainly were far too high. I think New Zealand are going to pour through them.
A look at the line-out men in the first line out of the game. Steve McDowell there. Pascal Ondart is beside him. The jumpers with Gary Whetton jumping high. Big take by Condon, but there was some pushing. And the first penalty of the test match goes to the All Blacks and presents Grant Fox with an opportunity about 3 metres inside the French territory.
Well, the French will play better today, I think, than they've played right through. And this line out here, you can see there's urgency there. They're actually trying to get to that ball. I actually didn't see too much shoving. I thought it wasn't a, when you consider lineouts the way they are, I thought it was reasonable move across the line.
Grant Fox averaging in test matches just over 13 points, and here he is lining it up. Just 1 minute gone on the clock on a beautiful day in Christchurch. The French have the advantage in the first half of a light nor'easterly breeze.
This will be a super kick if he gets it over, Grant, because it's about at the extent of the range we know that Fox has, and he's into the slight wind here that the French will have in the first 40 minutes.
Not going to have the distance. Blanco wants it. And Blanco looks for the touchline, and that's another beautifully struck punt by Serge Blanco. And you can see the extent of the breeze there, holding the kick up from Grant Fox. And on the other hand, the distance that Serge Blanco got.
I think he was dissatisfied then. He was pointing to the referee to take it further down. I agree with him. I think the ball did go further down that touchline.
There's Gary Whetton battling away at number 2 in the line-out for the All Blacks. Fitzpatrick to throw. The French are tall men in the line-out. They've grabbed this one through Condon. The referee has the arm extended on the All Black side, although it wasn't to signify that there was any infringement. And the ball has been kicked out on the full. So an early mistake by the French captain, Pierre Bibizier.
Rather ominous, though, 2 line-outs, and even if one did say they transgressed in the last, they've won both of them.
Terry Duvergy, he's a tall man. Behind him is Jean Condon. Once again, it's All Black ball to the line-out. No score in the test. Couple of minutes gone. Looking towards Murray Pierce, but it wasn't thrown in straight by Fitzpatrick. And so here we go with a scrum. Ten metres out from the 22. French have done well in the line-out so far. This is the first scrum. Steve McDowell on this side, the All Black loose head prop against Jean-Pierre Garaway. Held by Rodriguez. Scrum screwing away, picked up by the French loose forwards, battling up towards the 10-metre line. And Fred Howard very quickly pulls it up and gives the French the put-in. There is Laurent Rodriguez. He's been under an injury cloud for the last couple of weeks. Injured in the counties game, but he's a key figure in this French side. Good scrum from the French. Look at the All Blacks going back here. That's rather an ominous sign. The big French pack taking on the All Blacks and winning 5 metres inside French territory. Here it is to Blanco. And the French have made a good start to the game.
Well, that was an excellent scrum by France, and you can see the tactics already. They're going to move it round the scrum and get the big man Rodriguez to burst off the back and into these All Blacks.
Another throw into the All Blacks. That's the 22-metre line in All Black territory, just to the right. Oh, good take, Gary Whetton. Now a chance for the All Blacks to consolidate. And I think we'll see a fair bit of this sort of play from the All Blacks today. Back to Bruce Deans now. Fox inside his 22. taken by Babizier, and Fred Howard had a look back, decided it wasn't a late tackle. There, the French using their normal tactic of the halfback throwing to the line-out. Hunched on the All Black side, untidy Jones, hands it up to Deans now. Fox missing out Schuster, who doubled round Stanley. Joe Stanley still on his feet. 3 metres inside All Black territory. Set up by Stanley. Now Deans up to Jones. Fox quickly transferred to Wright. Lost it forward, Terry Wright. The referee plays advantage. And the All Blacks trying to move the ball, but they were rather static, standing still, and lost the advantage.
Yes, the French backs came forward very fast onto that because it wasn't good ball. It was tap down ball, and they moved through with the ball.
There could be an early problem for the French team here as this line-out resumes. Philippe Salah holding his wrist, one of their vital men in the back line, a man who's had 57 internationals, but Babizier trying to get the ball there at the 22. So in the early moments, it's France who have looked the more steady, perhaps the advantage of playing together as a team, even though their form hasn't been good. But now they're calling for a short line-out after less than 5 minutes in the match. Babizier to throw. Erbani and Condon, de Vergy, Bruce Deans, away to Fox. And a bit of pressure on the New Zealand kickers and passes in the early moments of this test match. Earl Curtin.
Well, yes, they're not tidying it up. The All Blacks should be actually going in and holding onto the ball before they release it. And, of course, the Frenchmen are running through with the pass. And it's making it very difficult for first 5/8 and halfbacks.
So they put 4 men in this time for Bazier's throw. The 4 tall men are there. Rodriguez, Urbani, Condon, and de Vergy from back to front. Michael Jones went highest. John Schuster, number 12. Straight to Blanco. He's got the sun behind him. Serge Blanco chased hard there by John Kerwin, getting into the game for the first time. That's Salah, and that's halfway. And referee Fred Howard, and over the touchline goes Kerwin. There he is, complete with Italian haircut, but the first pass that went his way in the test match. First time we've really seen him in action since last season. First pass was put on the ground. Touch judge on the far side, the Australian number 1, Kerry Fitzgerald. Remember, neutral touch judges today for the first time in international rugby. Rodriguez, Babizier. Away to Roger Thomas. That's a high ball. Kerwin waits. It's bounced for the French team. That's Roger Thomas. Advantage being played for, I think, a knock-on by Roger Thomas. Let's see what referee Howard rules in the end. He's letting it run. Babizier, just a little kick now. Were those men ahead there down on the left? An awkward bounce again. And yes, they were ahead of the kicker. That's left wing Patrice Lajesque and Serge Blanco. But a snappy little kick, that one by Babizier down the blind side.
Oh, it's the spot forward, back into the box. It was a lovely little kick by Babizier. The boys see how fast they were getting through on it. Tactically, they're beating the All Blacks at present. It's a worry.
That's Bruce Deans, number 9. Blanco let it bounce. Going through quickly, beaten by the turf that time, just his feet just coming out from under him. So Blanco looking safe and secure so far. His form has been up and down on this tour, but so far looking pretty good back behind them all in the French side.
Yes, they do look very relaxed, and they are playing. I think they're playing well. This is the best form I've seen all tour.
Good work at the front by Steve McDowell. Bruce Deans high to Fox. Schuster's left out. Stanley to Gallagher. This is Fox again. Big ball out to Kerwin, waiting wide on the right.
Well, I said they'd move it almost as soon as they got a decent ball, and they did try to do it there, and they tried to do it the previous move. But boy, the French backs are coming up dynamically in the midfield, although Salah still looks sore.
No score in the test match. Deans gets it to Fox any way he can. This is a better one. Let's see how Blanco likes this one. Schuster, good work. Stanley, high to right. That's the 22. Gallagher. Good support by Alan Whetton. Wright Shelford. That's the corner flag just there. Good support play, just a slightly high pass which went over the head of Terry Wright. Otherwise, the flying Auckland left winger might have been in.
Well, it's going to get close, but it was a beautiful kick by Fox. It was absolutely lovely. It was just hanging in the air. Lovely kick.
There he is, the third oldest Frenchman to play international rugby, Jean-Pierre Garaway. Rodriguez driving away. So there he is, Laurent Rodriguez. He's been in the game for a long time. He was the captain of France and 2 of their internationals at home last season, and the second defensive scrum for the French team in this position. Wheeling it away, Rodriguez, tipped up by Michael Jones. Berbizier, long ball out to Lagisquet on the left wing. This is Franck Meynell. So the French trying a counter-attack as they break out of their own 22. There's Franck Meynell handling for the first time. No score in the game, 10 minutes gone.
First impressions are the French are playing with much more commitment than we've seen from them during the New Zealand tour to date. The scrum has been solid, the line-out work's been good. Sean Fitzpatrick, 8 metres in French territory, no score in the match. Taken in by the All Blacks. Alan Whetton grabbed that one. Here it is for Deans. Fox once again missing out Schuster, who's doubled round Stanley looking for Kerwin. Lost it forward, but the French have it. Here's Terry Devergy. A good run, 10 metres he made. That's the 10-metre line in All Black territory. Now the French want this one quickly. There it is for Berbizier. Out to the fast man, Lagisquet. Underneath it is Deans near the 22. It came back, it would seem, from Lagisquet, but then it was knocked forward by the player coming through, number 7, Dominic Herbani. But really, the All Blacks look a little disjointed in the early stages, Ilkert.
Well, they're not playing as a team at all yet. They're really going in 1s and 2s, and they're going to have to settle down.
Defensive scrum for the All Blacks.
And I think the pressure's really on them because they're finding it very difficult to win their own scrums.
Held in the back by Shelford. Once again, the weight coming from the French, although the All Blacks starting to screw it around, but it's screwed off the mark, and therefore must be set again. Berbizier diving in, he's offside. Referee waiting for some advantage, and he decides to let it go with Grant Fox finding touch up near halfway.
Well, the pressure's tremendous. It's a great battle up front. Garaway is putting tremendous pressure on Steve McDowell, and the whole French scrum are putting tremendous pressure on.
Mark Session, number 6, playing off the back of the line-out. The French really haven't got one of the fast loose forwards of the Jones variety.
Line-outs favouring New Zealand in the early moments by 7-3, cleanly won ball.
There's one for the French, though, but it wasn't thrown in straight. So the advantage goes to the All Blacks. 15 metres in the field, the scrum to be set. Once again, held in the back by Shelford. The little kick from Bruce Deans down the blind side. And Blanco decides to let it go, which enables the French to get the throw into the line-out. No side with a clear scoring opportunity yet, apart from possibly Terry Wright, but the pass was thrown behind him. Another one coming on the All Black side, tidied up by Jones with assistance there from Shelford. It's on the 10-metre line in French territory. Now the All Blacks starting to get the rolling more working. And as soon as they go to ground, referee Fred Howard is obliged to blow the whistle. The All Blacks really didn't make a lot of progress in that maul. The French getting in low and holding them up. "15 minutes gone in the first half. No score. Coming now for Deans. Fox up to Schuster. Here's Gallagher in again. Looking for support. Had it from Jones. Towards the 22. Found Terry Wright. But a good all-enveloping tackle from number 10, Philippe Rouget-Tamar. But that's a better move from the All Blacks.
Well, Michael Jones won the battle for the loose ball there by a country mile. It was daylight second. Michael Jones there across so fast. So Babizier to throw, no score. The hints are there that the All Black machine is slowly oiling itself up to a big performance. Deans away to Fox. Schuster handling the ball again. Another move on. Kerwin trying to crash it. Schuster, it just dropped to his knees. Gallagher was with him, carrying on. The referee hasn't called it. Yes, he has. They're trying. It's the wheels are starting to turn just a little slowly, Earl, but they're getting up. Kerwin nearly breaking through there.
Well, he did break through. It was really just the pass.
New Zealand doesn't have a halfback at the moment. Bruce Deans is coming up a bit slowly down the 22. He's sort of staying out of the scrum, and now he'll get there. You'll see him come in from the right. There he is.
Actually got hurt in that thigh in the first tackle by Babizier, right in the first minutes of the game.
So another hold up here. Referee Fred Howard is insisting that Terry Divergy must leave the field, so he's giving New Zealand a penalty for that. Now I guess that's time wasting, is it? Terry Divergy has some problem with his boot. He didn't follow the referee's instruction to go off. And do you think that's what it was for, Earl?
And I think he refused to move, so he penalised him.
Well, that could be costly if it's going to be a tight test match,
Maybe,
and it certainly looks tough and tight at the moment.
Maybe he said something in English that Fred understood.
So it'll be the second shot at goal today for number 10, Grant Fox, who was a birthday boy yesterday. 2 days ago, Jean-Pierre Garouet, and today, Pierre Babizier. But obviously for those players involved, no celebrations yet. So the first points go on the board from Grant Fox, and New Zealand, after 90 minutes of play, have the lead by the penalty goal to 0. So the first quarter of the game is over. It's been very tough and tight as we expected. The French, possibly, Earl Curtin, would be thinking they've had the better of the first 20.
Yes, they'll be disappointed to lose 3 points there, because they certainly have had the best of the 20. They're playing well. They're playing more tight than the New Zealand side. And I think that tactically they're playing it exactly the right way.
But hints from the All Blacks in the last few minutes that they're unwinding and expanding a bit.
Well, that was a lovely move, and it's lovely to see them play within the first 20 minutes, try and spin it wide. I thought they would. It was just a poor pass by Kerwin on that previous movement. He just dropped it at Schuster's feet. Otherwise, it was a certain try. Lovely move, though.
So the first quarter of this first test match is over. New Zealand lead by Fox's penalty, 3 points to 0.
And Serge Blanco now to restart. Awkward here for the All Blacks, looking straight into the sun, the bright sun here in Christchurch today. And the French holding it up in the maul. Referee Fred Howard skirts around to see if he can find the ball. Maybe it's being held up on the All Blacks side, in fact, as they get down towards the 10-metre line. Now they start to roll. There it is on the ground for Bruce Deans. Up to Michael Jones, who has to turn his way back towards the forwards. Deans waits again. Good control here from the All Black forward pack. And away goes Richard Lowe. Driven through by the All Blacks. They've made 20 metres here, up towards the 10-metre line of French territory. And finally, as they go to ground, the referee has to blow the whistle. But that was excellent play by the 8 men in black. Richard Lowe, the last man up, as the scrum about to set on the 10-metre line in French territory, with the All Blacks leading by 3 points to 0. Oh, there's another good scrum from the French. The All Blacks were going backwards. Picked up now by Kerwin. But the French really have had the better in the scrums. And that was an All Black put in, and they went backwards.
It's been rather noticeable, too, that JK, as they say, Kerwin, has made 3 mistakes in the last 20 minutes, which is most unusual for him.
Scrum screwing away there. And the referee decides to play the line out. .15 metres out from the 22 in French territory. Coming towards the All Blacks, but it wasn't controlled ball. In fact, it was most indecisive.
Isn't this an interesting part of the game, that both teams are circling each other, watching here since that kick-off? Nothing much has happened in the last 2 minutes. It's all been played here. It's all been rough, tough and bruising since we had that All Black forward charge up to this position.
All Blacks in French territory, and they have the scrum put in. Berbizier getting very close to offside, but the referee, with the front rows collapsing, is going to reset the scrum. And once again, down they go. There's enormous pressure in those front rows.
It's kind of like a stalemate here in this game at the moment. Nothing much happening.
If you're out there, you'd know it was happening. Those shoulders and necks, the pressure would be tremendous.
Now Deans, Fox. Here's Terry Wright looking for Gallagher. Blanco coming in on the pass. Tries to get away from Jones. He's in touch. Touch judge flag is up. Well, the All Blacks ran it, and the French counter-attacked through this man, Serge Blanco. Quickly thrown to the, as we look at the replay. And it was a lovely back movement here by the All Blacks.
It was a grand move. And it goes wide out here to Terry Wright, but again, that final pass, just getting in between the two of them there, and it's a lovely run by Blanco. And if you looked inside, which is just off your screen now, there were 4 or 5 Frenchmen there. It would have been good night nurse.
Here's the scrum, 15 metres out from the 22. The All Black backs have looked good in the game. Fox now. This one holding up outside the 22. Who's claimed the loose ball? Looks like the French have it. Just inside their 22. They're not regrouping as quickly as the All Blacks. And the All Blacks made a couple of metres there, and Fred Howard's going to give the All Blacks the ball to put into the scrum. 25 minutes gone in the game, and the All Blacks ahead by 3-0.
So they can go left and right from the central position. A little bit of blood on the sweatband of the All Black captain, Wayne Shelford, at the back of the scrum. No tries in the game yet. The All Blacks showing more dash through the backs. A good little kick from Fox. Right hand score! A lovely little push through from Grant Fox, and very simply executed. But look at this. He ran forward up to the French backs who were standing flat, nudged it behind him. Terry Wright had a bit of anxiousness about the bounce, but he made certain of it. Try for Terry Wright.
Here
Look
it
at
is.
this
It's
again.
a lovely little chip here. And you see how the French tried to take out Johnny Schuster. And, of course, it was very easy for Terry Wright. He scored many of those. Safe hands near the line.
Beautiful balanced from Grant Fox. And Terry Wright got the try, but he was none too happy about the challenge that came after that. And he turned and looked at Philippe Rouget-Thomas. But the All Blacks have the first try.
Nice work by Auckland's Terry Wright on the left wing. He's had several chances and certainly made the most of that good one. New Zealand leading by 7-0. Since the penalty by Fox, they have kept the French back in their own half with some tough bruising play. Now they have the try, and of course this man, will he add the 2 points, the kick to come?
The question the French critics might say or ask is, where on earth was Blanco there? He was far too flat in that last move.
So all of a sudden the All Blacks are out to 9-0, out past the 6-point advantage, and all of a sudden, after a slow start, they're looking good. So one wonders now about the French team's morale, because they have been down at the dumps with their form on this tour against counties Manawatu and Southland, and they built up for this game, but that's going to be pretty hard to come back against the world champions. 9 points down. New pair of shorts for Philippe Sellar. And so questions now being asked of the French team. And good to see New Zealand chancing their arm in their backs and making a try for Terry Wright on the left wing. New Zealand 9, France 0. 10 minutes to play, first half.
Serge Blanco with the restart. Kicks a little further this time. The All Blacks have time to grab it in just near the 22. Back it comes now to Deans, and as Pierre Berbizier comes through, Deans has put it across the touchline near the 10-metre line in All Black territory. All Blacks lead by 9 points to 0. The French once again call for the shortened line-out with Jean Condom number 5 and Terry Devergy taken in by Condom. Really look as though it went the 5 metres that are required. But once again the line-out. And again the French are going to keep it short. All Blacks represented by Murray Pearce and Alan Whetton, with Gary Whetton playing in at halfback. And Gary Whetton comes in and joins that scrum, at least the line-out, just near the 10-metre line. And once again, the referee has called for the scrum. Just a little untidy in this phase of play. But really, from the French point of view, they need to get back into this match and do it very quickly. Deans back to Fox. Oh, and Berbizier went in hard again.
What do you think, Earl Curtin? I think after the initial fizz that Berbizier's French team produced here, they've gone flat in the last 10 minutes.
They have, but the scrummaging's still good, though, and that's one aspect that worries me. But I think the All Black tactic has been always to run it wide, and I think that's where they'll win the game, is way out on the wings.
All Blacks have a clear lead in the lineouts, 9-4. And there's another one for the All Blacks. They're starting to dominate now in that phase of play. And they're dominating too in this phase of play, the hard driving mauling, as they make another couple of metres. Now it comes to Fox. Another clever little kick from Grant Fox, pops it into the gap. Berbizier takes it, and now there was some pushing off the ball there. And the referee's calling out, let's have a look, he's calling out somebody. I think it was Philippe Rouget-Thomas. Now he was involved in the little incident just after the try was scored, and he's having a word with the new cap, Rouget-Thomas. And let's have a look. Keep our eye on number 10. He's just turned, and coming through is John Schuster, and he's looking at Schuster, and bang. And you can't do that. playing him off the ball, and the penalty goes to the All Blacks.
There's been a lot of criticism, Earl Curtin, of Grant Fox this year, that he's only got one kick, and that's the big high hoist from behind the scrum of the lineup. But he's introduced some clever little variations today, and that was another one.
Exactly, and he looked to see where they were. It's great that he's starting to see where players are, and it takes you a long time at first 5/8 to get to that stage of development. And it's magic that he's actually, what they say, seeing the field, because he is varying his kicks. Clever player and starting to play well. I say that starting to play well, Keith, because I think he has been a wee bit of a down on the last couple of weeks.
Well, he in fact admitted it not so long ago on the radio. I heard him.
Yes, exactly.
As you can see, Grant Fox here is right in centre field, and the kick is of about 45 metres. Swinging away to the left, and Blanco to force eventually, and the restart from the 22.
Now, didn't they do something like that in Auckland a few years ago from way behind the goal line? We got a try, remember that?
Yes, and he never forced it. He
That's
just
right.
took off and started to run. It was magic.
Roger Tamar barely made it to the 22 if it did at all. And back it goes now to Blanco, who hasn't been seen really in an attacking role today. He's put it down the throat of Kerwin, up towards the 10-metre line, John Kerwin, and couldn't transfer it back in field.
No, there was no option really for John Kerwin. He just raced down to keep it very close to that sideline. Safety with the sideline, which was the right thing to do under the circumstances.
12 metres on the French side of halfway. The All Blacks dominating the lineouts, but the French have this one. Bebizier up to Roger Tamar. He's good when he runs. He's strong. Good support there from Barney. This is good stuff. Session, 10-metre line, All Black territory. Hands it up again now. Garraway on the charge. 10 metres out from the 22, and they've won it again. They're just rolling it on. Rodriguez took it in. Now Bebizier across to Minel. The little kick from Salah. Gallagher across. And that's the sort of play we've seen from the French all tour. They win the ruck, they pop it up to the next man. They win the ruck and they pop it up again.
I think that's the best one they've put together in 4 matches in New Zealand on this tour. Bebizier, the long one over the back. It's gone to Franck Meynell, but there is a penalty to New Zealand. They were up inside the 10 metres at the line-out, so a mistake there by the French team, picked up on by referee Howard. And the Rouget Thomas and the rest of the French inside backs penalised. So the momentum of that excellent move they put in just a moment ago is lost, and a chance now for Grant Fox to clear out of his own half. The score is 9 to New Zealand, 0 to France, and we've got 4 minutes to play till half-time. And looking steady, the New Zealand first 5/8, Grant Fox.
That's only the second time that Fred Howard's caught the French backs offside, and he's actually talking to them now. Off your screen, they're standing extremely flat, and at times I think even more than flat, offside.
That one was tapped down by the French. It's come to New Zealand. Schuster left out. That seems a bit of a tactic. Joe Stanley trying to test the defence of Philippe Salah. He's a good tackler and grabber, though, Salah. 10-metre mark midfield. French territory. Interesting to see the crowd reaction so far. This is not a crowd today that's cheering a lot or urging New Zealand along to any great extent. They're rather sitting quietly and watching this most absorbing chess match being played out. Shelford to Alan Whetton. Deans, good play. Jones. 35 metres out. Hands, says Fred Howard, from one of these men underneath. Pascal Ondat, perhaps. And back go the French team. Terry de Vergy going back as well. And another chance late in the half for Grant Fox to put points on the board.
Well, you can see there at ruck time and at maul time, the All Blacks are certainly lower than the French, and they find it very difficult when all the All Blacks get in together. Driving forward then the All Blacks causing infringements basically by some of these Frenchmen on the ground.
This is Alan Whetton who's injured here. That's David Abercrombie with him. And remember, Whetton was in the rush forward with Wayne Shelford and then went down, so maybe he took a bump on the head. It looks like some, what do they call those, Earl? Smelling salts in there. Really jerked his head back, didn't it? He's been an international player for 4 seasons. Grant Fox with 2 minutes to go now till halftime. Yes, again. Fox goals, 12-0 as halftime approaches. So that is an excellent lead now for a New Zealand team which has worked very hard in the first half. Looked like a team in the first 20 minutes that hadn't played together before, and that would have been the worrying time for Grizz Wiley there in the stand. But they certainly have improved in the last 20 minutes, and now that's quite a decisive break in a test match, and I don't think I can remember too many teams coming back to win from 12 points down against the All Blacks in recent years. Of course, those words may come back and haunt me, Elke.
No, well, in the 60s when South Africa were here, they came back from 19-3 down.
On this ground.
On this ground.
Blanco kicks out, taken in by Gary Whetton. Bruce Dean's kicking nicely up the blind side. Kerwin is pressurising Lajesgay. Kerwin now. Kerwin clear. Pass to Fitzpatrick is on the deck. 4 is Murray Pearce. Shelford plays halfback. Fox, Stanley, swing it wide. The 2 Wellington players, Schuster, Gallagher, make a try for Auckland's Terry Wright. Slowly, ever so slowly, the All Black performance is peaking as they zoom out now to 16-0, halftime approaching. This was the last part. It began along the touchline with Kerwin running, and this is the fast hands through the back line. Stanley to Schuster to Gallagher, and a lovely little simple set-up pass. And Terry Wright is in for his second try.
Well, it was a grand pass. Shelford there improvising at halfback. Straight across the back line. It's the stuff New Zealand tries should be made of. Good quick ball from the ruck, and out here to score wide out on the wing, Terry Wright.
Well, he likes Lancaster Park, doesn't he, Terry Wright? That's his 4th try on this ground. Got a couple here against Wales, and the New Zealand effort here building at 16-0. Remember the Welsh test last year? They were slow to start that day, and they're building it now to similar proportions in the first 40 minutes.
Actually, it was interesting though noticing Kerwin race down that right-hand touchline. I've never seen him stop and pass inside before with almost a run in.
Fox again, 18 points to 0. The All Blacks are building a massive lead here in the first 40 minutes against France. Massive when you consider that they started so slowly. Here it is right back from the start.
This is what really started the try. A beautiful little kick here by Bruce Deans. And look at the All Blacks coming through. There are only a couple of Frenchmen there. The All Blacks carried it on. John Kerwin had this run that Earl was talking about, and he didn't quite back himself to get to the corner, so he slipped it in field. Things went a little astray here for the All Blacks, but they were able to recover it, win the ruck ball. It pops back very shortly to Buck Shelford, who's coming in, and Shelford sets the All Black backline in motion, and it was just a question of getting it out to Terry Wright as quickly as possible, and he got the inevitable try on the left wing side.
From the kickoff, play has gone to the 10-metre mark there, and a penalty has been awarded to the French team, and they have a chance right on half-time to put their first points on the board. The kicker has come across from the right wing, and that's Philippe Béraud from the Agen club, the real power base of French club rugby. And this man has been a consistent point scorer in his internationals, which number 17. You see there, before this test, he had scored 158 points. And with the ball dry, the wind behind him, France could just close that gap a little bit before the change round. It bounced out to Alan Whetton. Pretty good kick. Not such a good one from Whetton. But the first half ends with Béraud just missing a kick for France. And New Zealand have built their performance superbly to lead at the break by 18 points to 0. Welcome back to Lancaster Park, Christchurch, New Zealand for the second 40 minutes. The first rugby international between France and New Zealand. At half-time, Wayne Shelford's New Zealand team are in the lead by 18 to 0.
The French with a lot of work to do here in the second half as Murray Pearce takes the ball down for the All Blacks just out from their own 22 in the second half. The All Blacks have the advantage of a light nor'easter as Grant Fox, the architect of one of the tries in the first half, finds touch around about the 10-metre line. Well, Earl Curtin, what do the French have to do?
Well, I think they've got to chance their arm now and spin it wide. I can't see them playing New Zealand in close when they're so many points down, because they won't score enough points that way. They've got to attack out wide. And it's interesting now to see off your screen Blanco in the line.
French start well on the lineouts in the second half. They did that in the first half. Rouget Tamar takes it up. Held onto it. Away goes Salah. Here's a chance for the French. Blanco. Oh, what a start to the second half.
Well, that's exactly what I said they had to do, and obviously they talked about it at half-time because they went out exactly with that idea. Blanco to come in and open it up. What a great try it was.
It was all set up by Philippe Rouget Tamar. Now look at this little deft touch as he goes to make the pass. Then he slips it up to Salah. He held it. Might have been marginally forward, but the referee said carry on. Then Salah popped it up to Blanco. That might have been marginally forward as well, but never mind. It's a great try to the French.
Look at this from Rouget Tamar. Beautiful little delays, 2 or 3 of them, and a short pass to Salah. Salah running strongly, and this short little straight arrow pass to Serge Blanco. He's the highest scoring international fullback in world history, and that's try number 28 for Serge Blanco. Marvellous performance.
Philippe Béraud to add the extra 2 points. Dynamic start to the second half for the French. And that rather takes some of the gloss off it. Béraud missing from a handy position, but the French now know they can do it. Just 2 minutes gone, 18 points to 4.
Well, only David Campese in World Rugby has scored more tries than Serge Blanco, and he's a fullback. And remember, in the good old days, fullbacks hardly ever saw the ball. Serge Blanco has changed all that with play such as we've just seen here at Christchurch. But New Zealand's still out by 18 points to 4.
Grant Fox. The French in the second half looking into the sun. Ball loose. Who wants it? Rodriguez has it for the French. Somehow he's got to get it back to his halfback Babizier. He's done it skillfully. Here's the try scorer, Blanco. John Geller having to scuttle after it. But another nice touch from Serge Blanco. And the French swing back onto attack.
But notice even from that ruck how the French came up on both sides, and they're prepared to attack now from both sides of the ruck. But the man who made that last try was Philippe Rouget Tamar, because he went at Fox, and Fox didn't come up to tackle, and he went into that slot and behind. And I think he might try it again.
That's the 22-metre line in All Black territory. Gary Whetton stretched high, but Babizier came through. He just couldn't get it back in field, though, to his following forwards. But the French edging up towards the All Black line. They're just 15 metres short now. All Blacks under early pressure in the second half. They lead by 18 points to 4. The French win the line-out. All Blacks pushing the French back, though. And although the French appeared to be holding the ball up in that maul, it was the All Blacks who got down lower and gained to put into the scrum. Pascal Undart against Richard Lowe on the side of the scrum in the second half. Here's another big shove from the French. And the All Blacks on occasions are just struggling a little in the scrums. Big, strong, heavy French pack. Even the loose forwards are big men. Once again, the scrum starts to swirl off the mark. The kick from Deans. Lagisquet goes back. Now he's got a ton of pace. He got it past Schuster, 10 metres out from the 22, and the All Blacks are penalised. It's near centre field as Patrice Lagisquet took it in to the maul. The All Blacks infringed, and a chance here for the French.
Well, you can see again the intention of the French. It's certainly to open it up and have a crack out wide now, and they're moving it every time they get the ball. Good play by France.
The referee's signal there seemed to be that the All Black player in question, Alan Whetton, did not allow the French to release the ball to continue the play.
Kick of about 35 metres here for Philippe Barrault. And this time he's on target. And the gap is now reduced to 11 points. The All Blacks lead by 18 points to 7. And 5 minutes now gone in the second half.
Well, that was a big kick, and Barrault needed it too for his own confidence. He's actually lost 5 points for them, and I thought they were very easy kickable 5 points. And the fact is that they need every bit they can get. But boy, I think we now have a ball game.
Looking rather more worried now, Alex Wiley. 18 points to 7 and 5 minutes into the second spell.
Grant Fox kicks out, and it's as if we're watching the French A team playing at last. We might have been seeing their B team in the first 40 minutes. They're into it much more, aren't they? Bibizia sharply away to Roger Thomas, to Philippe Sella. He slipped them again at halfway. Lagisquet, he's got one man with him. Blanco, of course. What a good kick. Cessillon scores. Marc Cessillon scores the try after a brilliant break by Philippe Sella, back on his own side of halfway. Roger Thomas moved the ball. Look at Sella, slipped the line here. He went through 3 sets of grasping arms by New Zealand. Then it was Lagisquet, and look at the wit and intelligence of this man. He saw that Blanco was with him, and he chipped it ahead. Blanco, by instinct, went inside, and it was 3 French catches under the ball. Cessillon arrived a bit late, but he got the try diving in over the top.
Well, this is the guy that is the best centre in the world, and now you can suddenly see why. Lovely little break. But look at the nous of this man, Lagisquet. He sees it, senses it, and then gets away on his left foot to put that beautiful centering kick in. The All Blacks here disputed that it actually slightly went forward. By the look of it, I don't think it did. Fair try.
There is an injured man down. It is Rodriguez, I think. He was up in the amongst the catching. The Dax number 8 forward, Laurent Rodriguez. I think it's him under there. We can only assume it is. But we have a test match now that is at 18 points to 11. And at half time, it was 18 points to 0. So the French have come back in the second half and have scored 11 points. This is Alain Carminati, the hard hit man of French rugby, who's waiting outside the touchline, wondering whether he'll get the call to come in. But Rodriguez is up. He shrugged off the stretcher that was brought out to take his huge frame off the field, and he's back in the game for the French team in this amazing comeback we've seen already. In only the first 6 minutes of the second half, the French have scored 11 points, and they have the prospect of 2 more to come with this kick. And maybe those words I uttered just before half-time about the All Blacks being out of trouble at 18-0, they may yet come back to haunt me. This is Philippe Béraud.
It was very interesting then that the respect that the French players have for Rodriguez. They said there was no way he was going off. You could see them pleading with him to get up. He's obviously their Iron Man, and psychologically they couldn't afford to lose him. Maybe he's the sort of the French Colin Meads.
A handy position for Philippe Béraud. Through it goes. They're inside the 6-point gap at 18 points to 13. And we've got a whale of a test match to come here from Lancaster Park in Christchurch. Marc Session, who scored the try, the 30-year-old who's been in French representative teams for nearly 10 years. It's his 3rd test try. He hasn't played a full game on this tour yet. He's come on as a replacement 3 times, and he scored that vital try to bring, with the conversion, the French up to 13. And so New Zealand are now only in the lead by 5 as the game restarts.
And Grant Fox again restarts for the All Blacks. Stung by this French onslaught in the second half. And the All Blacks knocked it forward as they came through. And the French get the put in. 15 metres out from the 22. Well, what a turnaround in this game. 18 points to 0. And the All Blacks all over the French. But I don't know what they talked about at half-time. But whatever it is, it certainly has worked. Here's Rodriguez again. That's the 10-metre line. He's laid it back nicely. Out to Roger Tamar. Gallagher waiting. And away goes John Gallagher, opening it up. Now the chase is on. Berbizier back for the French. And good work by the little halfback and captain. But John Gallagher showing his exceptional pace and skill on that occasion. Well, the game has really opened up. 2 tries to 0 at half-time. Now 2 tries apiece at 18 to 13. And just on 10 minutes gone in the second half. Good leap by Murray Pearce. Now a chance for the All Black backs. Schuster up to Stanley. Looking for Schuster to double round. All Black forwards piling in over the top here. It's in centre field. It's 15 metres out from the 22. But the All Blacks not able to free it.
I think they were slightly unhappy there with Fred Hard. He didn't give them enough chance to clear the ball. This is what Grizz Wiley's been talking about all week, though, is the All Blacks clearing the ball quickly to these backs as the midfield have got a chance.
Plenty of options available here to the All Blacks. They can go left. They've decided to go right. Deans, good little run against Deans. Murray Pearce is there. He lost it forward as he was taken in the tackle. Béraud takes it away for the French, but the referee, I think, is playing advantage, and the French do have that advantage. Well, that was a good little thrust from the Canterbury and All Black halfback Bruce Deans, who made his first test appearance here just a year ago against Wales. But the transfer to Murray Pearce was knocked forward. Shadows starting to invade the ground. It's a beautiful day in Christchurch. And almost a capacity house at Lancaster Park. The All Blacks win another line out. Across to Joe Stanley. Here's Terry Wright. Oh, what a tackle put on him by Philippe Salah. And the French have it. Berbizier. Across to Rouge Thomas. Here's a chance down the right wing side. Lagesque. Blanco. They won't catch him. Serge Blanco, try number 2. Well, that is a sensational try that has taken the French to within 1 point of the All Blacks, and it started 70 metres downfield. Here it is. There's the 22-metre line of French territory. And you'll notice here that Lagesque, the left winger, is out on the right wing side. He has a run here as he's put into the gap by Blanco, and Blanco stays with him. Lagesque draws Gallagher, and Joe Stanley's doing his best. Terry Wright, the speedster in the All Blacks, is also chasing, but Serge Blanco, in his 69th Test match, had the pace to get there.
This is absolutely amazing. The French instinct right throughout this tour is to be to play it safe. Suddenly their instinct has changed and they're running the ball. What a lovely pass to Blanco. And the old man, you know, he'll be 31 in just a few weeks' time, and he has run in his second brilliant try for the French. With the kick to come, it's a fantastic turnaround for this game. It's leaving me absolutely speechless.
Well, it's certainly most unusual to see the All Blacks in trouble when we're going into the last half of the second half.
This kick, Philippe Barreau, could put France in front. Well, he missed it, but the French have staged one of the most remarkable comebacks in Test rugby history. And look at that scoreline after just 12 minutes in the second half.
12 minutes ago, when we had the turnaround, it was 18 to New Zealand and 0 to the French. Now, this crowd can't believe it. I'm sure you at home can't believe it as well. Now the gap is just 1 point as Fox kicks out. Now we look at the reaction of the New Zealanders. You know, since the French scored that earlier try, we've had the good break back by Gallagher and the good breakthrough by Deans. But the French, in the face of those two attacks, kept their form and shape. And they've struck back with 2 run-in tries, brilliant efforts to close the gap up now to just 1 point.
Blanco's lined out on the right from the scrum, only with Barreau, and I'm sure he'll go to the right.
Berbizier kicking down the right wing side. Gallagher. Philippe Barreau towed down the touchline, but we're going to go back up to the left, and there's going to be a scrum. John Gallagher maintaining good form behind the New Zealand team, but the New Zealanders will be looking for some of the snap they showed in the second 20 minutes of the first half. Rodriguez, Berbizier, Rouge Thomas, Cessillon, who scored the second try. And again, penalty for France. This one with the 22-metre line there to the left is again eminently kickable, and Philippe Barreau no doubt will have a shot from here. Here is the distance. He'll have to kick it into the strong sunlight and a wee bit of a breeze, but this is getting to be white knuckle time for the All Blacks here in the second half. Here's that piece of hard driving play up towards the 22. Look at the referee. He's having a good look in there. Up goes the hand in the very direct manner of Fred Howard, and the shot at goal to come by Philippe Barreau. Now, his kicking has not been very secure today. He's missed most of them from any distance. So let's see how he reacts under this pressure. "16 minutes gone, second half." Well, New Zealand 2 let-offs there with the conversion and the penalty attempt from Barreau, both missing from wide out. But the French are very definitely in this game. New Zealand 18 and France 17. Fox kicks out. Deflected to Steve McDowell. Dominic Bouet as number 2 has gone in to get it. Deans, Fox, Berbizier waiting. Lovely catch by the French captain. Now let's have a look at their instinct again. Blanco, Gallagher going back. Good kick down the line by Gallagher. Berbizier across to Serge Blanco. Now here is the genius at fullback, getting away from Stanley, pushing it up the line. John Kerwin Now, can the big New Zealand right winger get moving? Rolling his skyhook pass inside. And, well, we have to say it, Kerwin has not looked sharp all of this game. But what a performance by this fellow, Serge Blanco of Biarritz in France.
Well, I think that was one of the interesting things of this game, to see how Johnny Gallagher compared with Blanco, and they certainly are two great fullbacks.
You see Babuzier away to Roger Thomas. This time it's a high one that Kerwin will test. Caught by Salah, wrenched free by Salah. That's the 22 metres line. Babuzier. He's got Bouet the hooker with him. And that was a bit of a pass the Frenchman might call a hôpital.
I think he actually took the wrong option, but he hasn't taken many wrong options in the second half.
So it's 18 points to 17, and we're halfway through the second half. We've reached the three-quarter mark stage of this tight and exciting test match.
All Blacks again defending on their own 22. Another line-out win for the French. My word, they've won some line-out ball in the second half. Having trouble freeing it, though, and Marc Session might have spoken to the referee. Now, Fred Howard understands a bit of French, and whatever somebody said, he understood it. And initially it was a scrum, and it finished up a penalty.
Well, I think New Zealand could consider themselves fortunate there. Buck Shelford, I thought, went right over the ball, and that's what Session said, and he raked him because of it. And that's what they had the chat about with Fred Howard.
Steve McDowell, Gary Whetton. The All Blacks haven't had much luck in the lineouts in the second half. Another one going on the French side. They gather quickly. Berbizier is digging deep into the maul. He has it now. Roger Thomas. Menel the kick. Hanging up for Gallagher on his own 10-metre line. John Gallagher. He hasn't got a lot of support there. That's starting to gather now. 5 metres on the All Black side of halfway. And the All Blacks have it. Fox to Terry Wright. And the tackle was made by Salah, but the All Blacks have been given a penalty here. The French were offside. And this is 2 or 3 metres on the All Black side of halfway. Too far for Grant Fox to kick for goal. We're down to the last 17 minutes of this test match. The French in the second half have staged a remarkable comeback. Down 18-0 at the break. It's 18 points to 17 to the All Blacks. Michael Jones got high that time. Deans had a little trouble. Finally, he grabbed it. Now Stanley up to Kerwin. Alan Whetton lost it forward. The All Blacks making mistakes.
There's tremendous pressure on those All Blacks faces. I think for the first time in about a year and a half, they're really struggling.
The French were the last side to beat the All Blacks. That was late 1986 in Nantes. Picked up by Rodriguez. What a strong game he's had. Look at him. They can't get him down. 7 or 8 metres he made. Now Berbizier. Gallagher again in good position. Serge Blanco, the star of the match. Bang, look at that. And this effectively means the All Blacks will have to restart from the 22. And the French really doing the right thing here. They're going to play the game inside the All Black half. He looks worried, and he needs to look worried, Alex Wiley. The All Blacks 1 point ahead in the game. French take it in. All Blacks driving in low this time. French still trying to hold it up, but that was good work by the All Black forwards. The French were rather too high there, and the All Blacks got underneath them and drove them back and won the put into the scrum. There's Jacques Ferrou. Well, he didn't have an input at half-time, but somebody must have said something, and the French, unbelievable comeback. Once again, the All Black scrum's in trouble, but they've cleared the ball, although Fox is under pressure. And he did very well, Grant Fox. The All Black scrum went back. Fox got an awkward pass, and somehow he scrambled it for touch. Pierre Berbizier, 5 metres in All Black territory. Line-out win for the All Blacks. They've been rather rare in the second half. That is the 10-metre line in All Black territory. Ball is there on the ground. You can see it. Deans handing it up to Fox. Blanco is waiting. Schuster's arriving. Ball still loose. Just near the 22 in French territory. Berbizier takes it out. Roger Thomas. Richard Lowe went pretty high on that occasion. Fred Howard spun round. I don't think he quite saw it. And the French managed to extract themselves from that very awkward situation. A good kick forward by Grant Fox. 15 minutes to go in the test. 1 point in it. 18-17.
Well, Earl Curtin, where's your money now? Because the French actually have not scored in the last 12 minutes.
Well, no, I think the most noticeable feature is the All Black forwards are tiring. They're finding it very tough.
Deans is too keen as the game resumes. Watch for the French here because they may tap and run. Deans goes back. Injury, though, away to the right. Let's look at this again. Pierre Berbizier marked by Bruce Deans. And the ball, well, Deans felt it was out and fair and playable, but referee Howard saw it otherwise.
Well, yes, there's one nose technically now. Once someone unbinds or even lifts a hand or a head off the rumps of the player in front, the hindmost foot in the scrum, it is deemed to have stopped, and he could go in and dive for it. But it's very difficult. Some referees have different interpretations on when one unbinds.
Jacques Ferrou there, always plenty to say. They sent Henri Sons down to warm up. This is the little man who's a very able substitute for Pierre Berbizier. The French team clear up towards halfway. Looking at the clock, it looks like about 13 minutes to play in the match. Kamanati and Sons, the two replacement possibilities on the sideline. And New Zealand still in the lead, still holding the lead by just 1 point. Lineouts favouring New Zealand by 16-12 as that one from Schuster finds the deck. Michael Jones bursts clear. That's halfway. Gallagher carrying it on. Taken by Big Pierce. Thrown down by Roger Thomas and Sella. Penalty for New Zealand. Pierre Berbizier asking Mr. Howard about it, but let's look at it again out along the New Zealand backs.
Well, it was pretty higgly-piggly. There was a lot of stuff there lying around again. It was desperate stuff, really. But when he did go down, Michael Jones, you watch now where Philippe Rouge Thomas goes in and absolutely locks him up when Piercy goes down now. And there was no way he could have played it, and that was a fair penalty. So he brings his legs up there to stop that ball coming back. Definite penalty. Fred Howard's right.
Good curl, Earl Curtin, former All Black, watching with us today, former All Black selector as well. And Fox now with a kick which will assume in very important proportions. It won't take New Zealand out of the danger zone, but it could just relieve the pressure and put the pressure on the French to score a converted try to take the lead. He has scored very well in test matches on this ground, as you see by that caption there. And so far today, Fox, 10 points, all in the first half. That was a big kick for Fox. He felt it, and he landed it. 21-17. New Zealand lead, about 10 minutes to play in the first test match. So this game has had a steady build-up to a climax here in the last 10 minutes. The game got away to a slow and stuttery start. New Zealand were sluggish in the first 20 minutes. You see in the background, Rodriguez going off. The French had to suffer the New Zealand strength in the second 20 minutes of the first half, and then they exploded themselves. Rodriguez was almost in for a try. They have 3 tries. He has problems, it looked like, at his neck, but we are set for the last 10 minutes of what could be a marvellous game at 21-17. It was 18-0 at half-time. I'm getting a wee bit worried about the people down at that end. They haven't seen any points at all, but Grant Fox got some down there. Elaine Caminati comes into the test match, and New Zealand now leading by 21-17.
So some fresh legs on the field for the French in the form of Caminati, as Alan Whetton takes it down for the All Blacks, leading by just 4 points. Comes now to Deans, cross to Fox. Oh, and he's lobbed it nicely into the gap. Bouet, the hooker, going back. There's Philippe Berraud. Jones took it away from him. The ball is loose. Session has it for France. That's the 10-metre line of French territory. And an All Black said something, I think, to Fred Howard. It was going to be a scrum. He's changed it to a penalty. And here go the French. Caminati gets a hand on it for the first time. That's the 10-metre line now at All Black territory. Berbizier. French again through Session. Now Berbizier again. Rouget Tamar. Here it comes out towards Blanco. Lagisquet, the left winger. Support from Minel. And he didn't release the ball, Frank Minel. Well, the French are running the All Blacks all over the field when they get the ball. As we come down to the wire in this match, 10 minutes to go. In fact, it's more like 8 minutes to go, as Fox. Another big punt from Grant Fox, but it's not in touch. Blanco goes back to the 22, and he doesn't make the same mistake. What a game we've seen today from the veteran French fullback, his 69th international today. Sean Fitzpatrick, who just a moment or two ago had sunk to his knees, seems to be okay again and feeds this line out. What a lovely take from Jean Condom. The French have a tall forward pack. They've troubled the All Blacks in the lineouts in the second half. They've certainly troubled the All Black scrum. Here's Rouget Tamar looking for Salar. He's hard man to pull down. The French forwards are a bit slow to get there. And they've got a penalty, though. Now, Fred Howard wants to have a word here. He's pulling out Sean Fitzpatrick.
This is the man who's just come out of suspension, remember, for being sent off at a club game in Auckland. Wayne Shelford called in. But to New Zealanders' eyes, I don't think that looked too much wrong with that.
One interesting feature of the game now is the amount of work that Salar is doing. You may not be seeing it on your box at home, but it's really tremendous the amount of backing up he's doing off the ball. Marvellous player, tremendous work rate. And as I said earlier, I think really he is the best of the loose forwards because he's basically keeping these Frenchmen in the game while they play it wide.
Philippe Salar is the man who's on the ground. He's the man who took it into this ruck. Let's have another look at this. The All Blacks come piling in over the top. Let's have a look at Sean Fitzpatrick. There he is. And you remember back a couple of years when David Cody was sent from the field, and that would be regarded as stomping, and Fred Howard didn't like it, and the French have a penalty.
You can see the marks on the back of Philippe Salar's leg there, so it was definite scraping by number 2, Sean Fitzpatrick. You'll see him there jumping in on the leg of Philippe Salar.
Now Philippe Perrault, whose goal kicking hasn't been of a high standard, 45 metres out on a slight angle. He'll get the distance, but he's away to the left, and the All Blacks breathe again. They hold their 4-point advantage with 5 minutes to go.
Fox kicks out from the 22. Just minutes for the All Blacks to hold out here in the first test match and maybe rethink it all again before the second. Fox playing it steady without risk from behind the 22-metre line. Well, I wonder what the man on the moon thinks of this on this lovely, clear Christchurch afternoon. A superbly exciting test match, and New Zealand just in the lead by 4. The French are going to throw everything into this last few minutes, that's for sure. Are there any gaps to probe in the New Zealand defence in these last few moments? This is Bouet, who plays in the dummy halfback position for the lineouts. The French backs keeping the 10 metres back.
Well, certainly been put on a tremendous performance. The bicentenary of the French Revolution, and that was sure a bell.
Another massive punt by Blanco, and it's gone across the touchline. He's certainly had a superb game. Remember, he's playing his 69th international today. The highest capped New Zealander is Gary Whetton, who's playing his 35th, so he's played nearly twice as many as the longest serving All Black. Now the French have it on their side. Untidy ball. It's come back to the New Zealand team. Ebani, referee, has called a penalty for the French. Condom is offside, I think, there. The penalty's looking like about 10 to New Zealand and France 5. That's the call of penalties and free kicks in the game so far from referee Fred Howard. New Zealand swinging on to attack. And now at last the crowd, they know that New Zealand is in the lead by that margin, but they're becoming more vocal because of the tries the French have scored. They know that New Zealand might be in trouble if the French were to break out. Good take by McDowell and good work off him by Alan Whetton. A little wrestling match there with Richard Lowe and Divergy. 20 metres out. Desperate times. 2 minutes to play. Can the French pull out one more try? They've scored 3. New Zealand have scored 2. Michael Jones frees it. Roger Thomas has intercepted. He hands off Terry Wright. But the momentum just couldn't quite keep going. Desperate stuff from both teams in the last moments of play.
That's exactly that. Bunch of the tired men, both sides. But E. Tamar, he's playing like a loose forward, and there was a lovely break again.
Well, one wonders what this man will feel at the end if France loses. He's missed 5 kicks this afternoon, some of them quite handy to the post. Out with Grant Fox now, who scored his usual high percentage of points. Blanco's lost it to Kerwin. Michael Jones back inside. That's Alan Whetton, and that's got to be the clincher. The test match is won for the All Blacks with this late try by Alan Whetton. After the ball went out along the backline, and look at the Frenchmen. Their heads are down. They're desperately disappointed behind the goal line as Alan Whetton takes New Zealand out to a margin that they won't be beaten from in this test match.
Well, this is a beautiful kick again, and tremendous pressure put on by John Schuster. You just watch it as Blanco comes in to take this ball. Great pressure. Ball bounces out to Kerwin. Here's the man with the gas on the outside, Jonesy. And back inside, that lovely flop pass, well taken by Whetton too, and he barges over. Very sad for the French after the way they've played.
Well, what a kick from Grant Fox, and Serge Blanco wasn't able to hold it. John Kerwin quickly on the spot, but even more quickly there was Michael Jones. Flipped it back in the field. He knew there must have been some support there somewhere, and Alan Whetton, despite the attentions of 3 Frenchmen, was able to put it down, and that really is the try that has put the game safe for the All Blacks, 25-17, with Grant Fox's kick still to come. And the disappointment shows. They've really put it together in the second half.
The kick slides away from Fox. It won't matter. There are only seconds remaining in the game. New Zealand 25, France 17. The man who scored the try, Alan Whetton, his 7th in test matches, and that was the score that put New Zealand out beyond reach in this tight, titanic, exciting test match. Now, what will the French do? There are only seconds remaining. They're really only going through the motions as Roger Thomas drop kicks off. Taken in by Whetton. Driven away by the hard men of the New Zealand pack, who got their act together after that explosive 12 minutes early in the second half. Look at that from Steve McDowell. Look at the leg drive as they charge in over the touchline at halfway. Marvellous run there by Steve McDowell, who saved his best to last. Fitzpatrick also helping him to drive on. And Fitzpatrick, in typical fashion, got something to say. Kerry Fitzgerald, the touch judge there. Well, play goes on. We're in injury time now. Session at halfway. Over the top, Bebezier, Roger Thomas, Menel. Oh, a big hit by Schuster on Menel. However, here is Lagisquet skipping out of a tackle. So too is Blanco. The All Blacks are back supporting the catcher Deans, and the fair catch is taken. Time ticking out for the French in this game. New Zealand leading by 25-17. 3 tries each, though, and what a match we may see in a fortnight at Eden Park in Auckland.
Well, it's been a magic match. It's been exactly what you expect, a test match, and that's what everybody here didn't expect to see, and certainly have been pleasantly surprised. Lovely French running, and I must say the All Blacks have stuck well to the task, but certainly were frightened in that second half.
Last seconds of the game ticking away. Yeah, Wayne Shelford there, number 8, will be pleased, no doubt, that they're ahead. It's been a tight struggle. Two tries for Wright, 1 for Alan Whetton, 2 tries for Blanco, 1 for Session. The rest came from kicks. Roger Thomas, long ball from Salah. That's Philippe Perrault, well wrapped up. Lajiske well wrapped up by Kerwin. Well, referee Fitzgerald on the sideline took a long time and then put his flag out. And in the last minute of play, I think there was some bad language from somebody, Lajiske. And we may have a controversial finish to this. Kerry Fitzgerald seemed to be signalling that he wasn't going to put his hands out. His palms were up.
No, shut up. Shut up, away. Penalty kick.
Well, all of a sudden, the French are speaking very good English in there. But this, I think, is just an expression, an example, perhaps, of their disappointment. The last minute of play, Fox is going to kick it to the touchline. And the match is over. 25 to New Zealand and 17 to France. The All Blacks go one up in the series. Wayne Shelford will no doubt be delighted, but it was a tough struggle all the way on a sunny Lancaster Park. 25 points to 17.